Welcome everybody. So if you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thanks for coming back. As I'm sure you can tell, today's video is going to be about jumping spiders. So I've got all different kinds of jumping spiders. I've got Regals. This one right here is a Carolinensis. She's an absolute nut, by the way. I love her so much. But I've got female spiders. I've got male spiders. That's what this one is right here. His nickname is Speck because he is such a little boy. I've also got tiny babies I am raising right now. So there are about 70 jumping spider babies in there. There is the mom in this enclosure. But today's video is going to be about making quick emergency DIY enclosures. You guys know that I like enclosures from tarantula cribs, but we have a little surprise that you guys will see later on in this video, and I needed to make some quick, easy DIY enclosures that were affordable because they're only temporary. So that's what today's video is going to be about, making some quick, easy, affordable DIY jumping spider enclosures. So let's just jump right in. All right. First things first, guys, we gotta look at the spiders because I don't know how big these are because I don't know who's gonna fit in what enclosure. And the one I have, which is an extra large coffin, or I guess the large coffin from Tarantula Cribs, I wanted the mom to go in, but she's still not ready. Her and all her babies are still just hanging out. Oh.
What's your three?
I don't know. Why are there three? I just broke into a sweat. Oh, they are small. Hi, honey. Oh my God, look at that face. Do you see? You are teeny tiny. Good thing we're looking. All right, here, guys, let me see if I can show you. All right, we're gonna put you away, honey, for a minute. You just stay nice and calm. Let's look at what the else we've got in here. Look at that face. They're so tiny. All right, I'm gonna have to pull these guys all the way out so you can actually see them. But they just took a nice trip from New York. Here's our male. Hi, honey, I don't want to scare you. Hi, how was your trip? Like I said, they just made a large trip all the way from New York. So I'm gonna let them hang out for a little bit and just kind of calm down. I cannot believe he sent three. That was so kind. All right, well, I guess we've got three more jumping spiders added to the family. So like I said, I'm gonna let them hang out for a little bit. I'm gonna figure out what we are gonna do as far as enclosures, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So, I don't know if you could tell by the chaos of the first bit of this video, but I was not expecting three. That obviously changes things, and I wasn't expecting them to be this small. He did say babies. I should have known. It's not like he said sub-adult, maybe adult, and I should have known when I emailed him and he said babies that they were gonna be this young. So I'm just not comfortable putting them in even a medium coffin enclosure right now. I'm gonna show you guys a quick, easy DIY for your jumper. So I just ran to the store really quick and tried to find the safest options. So you guys know I normally like to do the best of the best, but we're making do here. Of course, first thing I looked for was glass enclosures. Because I am a glass artist, I can easily drill cross ventilation holes, whatever I want in glass. But there were no good options for that even at both of the dollar stores that I went to. So we're unfortunately gonna have to go with plastic, but it's ultimately no big deal. These are temporary. So the first thing I saw was these little jars right here, and I thought these would be so cute. Just three jumping spiders in these little jars for Halloween, because they're gonna have to be in here for a little bit. So here's the thing. If they build, there is plenty of room because they are so small for them to web up into the top of this. However, I'm worried if they web over this edge, I don't want to rip apart their web every time I open it. And if they're up top, which they most likely will be, they're gonna be on this lid when I pick it up and put it down somewhere quickly, and then lid quickly back on. So even though this is adorable, I just don't think it's the best option for the spiders. So that's where I found these. These we can place sideways, and because it's square, no matter where the spoods web up or make their hammocks, because they're jumping spiders so they make hammocks, if they do it in any one of these four corners, anytime I open this lid, it is not going to interfere with their webbing, and it is going to be easier to miss the enclosures, feed them their mealies, and then close it back up. So even though I think this would be absolutely adorable, I am going to still hold on to these. Maybe I'll put some of Mama's babies in in the future in these. For now, I think safest bet, easiest bet is using these right here. So they were $1.25 a piece at the dollar store. You can see right there. And because it's such a lightweight plastic, we are going to easily be able to drill plenty of cross ventilation holes in these enclosures. So let's get everything else out of the way, but I will show you these because these are adorable. I found these at the Dollar Tree too. These are actually little glass bottles. So they're little Halloween glass bottles. It says witch's brew, wool of bat, unfiltered poison, and same thing, just larger versions. And they're all actual brown glass bottles with little corks. I thought those were so cute, and these could come in handy in enclosures in the future. But for now, we've got to get these set up so we can get these little spiders into their new temporary enclosures. So I'm gonna go grab a drill so we can start drilling some ventilation holes, and then we're just going to very simply decorate these, make it a safe enclosure for these little baby jumpers. Okay, so the goal with drilling the holes is to get plenty of cross ventilation going. We want nice airflow to avoid mold growing. So all I did was go in with a Sharpie and just kind of measured out a easy pattern that I could duplicate on all 3 enclosures, and then went in with my smallest drill bit attachment that I had and drilled holes over all of those Sharpie holes. So we've got plenty of holes on both the left side, the right side, and the lid on all 3 enclosures. Super quick and easy. Okay, so we've got all of our ventilation holes drilled. Now it's time for the fun part. They are dry, clean, ready to go. I scrubbed kind of the inside and the outside near the ventilation holes just a little bit, not enough so I would scratch the plastic, but just to get the hard sections off where we drilled those ventilation holes in, so everything is nice and smooth to the touch. We are ready to start decorating these, or at least making them into actual little enclosures. Like I said, we're not going absolutely crazy by any means, just because these are temporary enclosures and these are for smaller jumpers. So we're just gonna make nice, safe spaces for them to feel secure and be able to grow. So first things first, let's put some Reptisoil in here. All right, so like I said, first things first is Reptisoil, and I guess we can kind of just do all 3 of these at the same exact time, and we're gonna make all 3 of these pretty similar. Okay, so nothing special here. Like I said, just throwing some Reptisoil in and just kind of filling it up to the bottom ledge of the opening. Yes, these are jumping spiders. They do not need a substrate, but one, I think Reptisoil looks really cool, and it kind of helps recreate a little slice of outside, since these are ultimately spiders we're dealing with. And I'm just not a fan of these like extreme diorama hardwood floors. It just feels unsafe to me. I want the spider to have plenty of things to jump on, and if it does take a tumble, it's going to have a nice soft landing with that Reptisoil on the base of the enclosure. Like, look at how perfect that is. That was meant to be. I just had these kicking around. They are the perfect size. I just happen to have exactly 3. I'm gonna stick one of each of these inside here as well. So if you've seen my previous video about my jumping spider enclosure, you know I love frog moss, I like the cholla wood, cork bark, all sorts of stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing right now, just kind of going back and forth and playing with the cork bark, the cholla wood. I want all 3 of these to have a similar look since I got all 3 at the same time. They're all the same age, so I don't know. I just feel like we're going for a triplets vibe here. So I'm just gonna keep switching things around until I like the way that it looks. Yeah, that looks cool. I like how that one looks. Look at it from the front. That's neat. All right, so we've got cork bark, cholla wood. Let's try to throw some hides in. So once again, lucky for me, I had exactly 3 of these cloud hides from Spider Enchantment, so I figured that would be really cute to put one of each in each corner of these enclosures and just kind of give them another aspect of matching and something cute and safe for them to hide in. Very cute. So we've got a triple moon hide / ledge in the center of this one. I love that. Let's put the coffin on the side of this one. That is too freaking cute. All right, so now we need something for this guy right here. Oh my gosh, you guys, stop. How cute are these miniature enclosures for $1.25 a piece, minus the hides and ledges and stuff that I already had from Spider Enchantments. I think this worked out really good. So before I put frog moss in, I like to do the foliage. Once again, these are temporary enclosures, but I do want these spiders to feel safe and secure inside them. So I want to make sure that they have plenty of stuff to climb on, to jump on, to web up, to make their hammocks in. I want them to have spaces for them to go and hide if they feel like hiding. Foliage is one really good way to do that. So I'm just going to start cutting little pieces at a time and sticking them in. Okay, so like I said, just kind of picking apart these little branches and these leaves or pieces of them and kind of just laying them in the enclosure, but putting the base into the actual substrate so it is secure. I think that's one of the most important things, is just making sure that everything you put inside the enclosure is not going to move. The jumping spiders themselves are so small that they're not going to move it, but every time you pick it up or go to feed it or whatever, you don't want any of these pieces to fall and accidentally hurt your jumping spider. So I'm just kind of going back and forth, sitting them in different ways until I like how it looks, and making sure that everything is secure and nothing is going to move. So here's what all three look like. Sorry, because of the reflections, we're not working with top-notch acrylic like we usually are with tarantula cribs, but that is okay. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I think this is it. Here's number one. Here's number two. And here is number three, which might be my favorite, and I think it's because of that triple moon. It is just so freaking cool. For whatever reason, I just did not like the cholla in this one. I like it without it. All right, let's clean this space up. We've made an absolute mess, and let's, most importantly, get these babies in their new enclosures. Okay, go in your new enclosure. Go ahead, buddy. Go. That is not surprising. Taking everything in, huh? Hi. Alright, we gotta get a paintbrush and get you in your enclosure. Do not move, nobody breathe. Go. There you go. Let's get this lid on. Alright guys, she is exploring around town back here. We are going to leave her be, let her get comfortable. Then we're going to mist all the enclosures down once we rehouse everybody. But we're gonna let her get comfortable. Let's move on to our next jumper. Here is our next female. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing, just gonna kind of locate her. Oh, there she goes. Right there. So she is tucked away, she is hiding, feeling secure in that spot. So again, we are going to leave her be. We are going to rehouse our last new jumper. All right. There's our little male. I know you're scared, buddy, but you gotta go in your new enclosure. You are tiny, honey. You are tiny. All right, guys, I gotta focus on getting him in the enclosure. There we go, okay. He's just hanging out inside that little nook right there. Okay, so that is a lot of excitement for all of these guys. I'm going to give them plenty of time to just relax. I'm going to mist their enclosures, but for now, we're just gonna let them relax. All right, guys, that is better. Everybody is separate. I don't want to add any more stress to what has already been a definitely stressful trip. So hopefully everybody is finding their way to some water. You can see there is the suspected male, and he is definitely drinking. You can see his teal green chalice. and the other female is down here. So this is the smaller of the two females. Where did she go? I see a little spider leg. All right, there she is. Everybody is out and about and exploring, looking comfortable, and hopefully everybody will find their way to some water and get a nice drink. So again, we're gonna let them settle in, and I will give you guys updates in the coming weeks on these new baby jumpers. Okay guys, it has been about a week now. All three of the new babies are doing really well. Everybody's eating and has settled in really nice. So next video is going to be a glass video, but it's going to be kind of a combination. It's got a little bit to do with spiders and mostly glass art. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are. Make sure you've got your notifications on. If you're new here, again, welcome. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you did, comment down below and let me know what do you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.